All right, so today, or not today, this is Coffee Chronicles episode 7, but this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I figured I would talk about some mental health related topics. So we're going to talk about coping skills. So the Fleming family, as probably previously you have realized with my grandfather's funeral planning, is really good at being able to just like laugh through the tragedy, right? Like we can just like we go right into crisis mode. We like start helping people, we solve problems, make people laugh, make people smile, and we just handle tragedy very strange. And me and my mom were talking about this morning, so I think this is a good topic. And then like 10 years later we have to we're the person who's like grieving someone who died 15 years later, right? Which isn't great. But when my grandmother was dying, she had COPD, and she died of complications of COPD. So she went into the hospital. My mom called me and was like, it's time. We're gonna you should come to the hospital. So I went to the hospital and I brought my sister with me. And in my head, I'm like, it's gonna be a moment. It's gonna be like a thing. Like I'm gonna go sit down next to my grandma. She's gonna tell me something. It's like I'm gonna tell my kids, gonna stay with me for a long time and stuff. And my grandmother looked at me, took a long pause, and said, I always hated your hair. Now, my grandma was a very prim and proper person. She'd go once a week, get her hair done, get it set. And at this point, it wasn't looking very good. She hadn't made it there that week. And I said, yours doesn't look very good either right now. So there was like the start of it. You know what I mean? This is like, so she came home on hospice. She was only on hospice for a couple of days before she passed away. But like when she came home on hospice, we're also Irish. Not so, this isn't so much representative of like my Bradish side family, but like the Flemings, like when tragedy hits, like it's a party, like, we all get together, everybody drinks, everybody laughs a lot and stuff like that. So I had bought some wine, and my grandma had a white carpet in her living room, and we were like never allowed to bring drinks into her carpet. She didn't pass away. Like she held on for like a long time, and I truly it's believed because she was trying to get the strength to be like, get the fucking drinks out of the living room. So as she, like, we were all around her and we really thought she was going to pass away soon, and we were around the bed and everybody was very emotional, and I was like, trying to sneak my little sips of my wine, like, and my grandfather wanted to play a song, and he wanted to play that song like, did you ever know that you're my hero? Which, if you knew how they talked to each other when they were married, you never would have known that she was his hero. But he played that, someone played it on their phone for him, right? And at first it was like, okay, we're listening to the song. Then the high note came, and Herm was like, I'm gonna go for it. In the name of June, I'm going for it. And he tried to execute that high note it was scary. So I had just taken a sip of wine as he went to execute the high note. And what do? Spit the wine out. I'm at the foot of the bed. My grandma probably got on the carpet. She didn't go away for like, she didn't pass away for like another 12 hours. And I think it's probably because she was like, you dissed my hair and you fucking spit red wine on my carpet. And like, I tell all these people the story. Like when people are like, their grandparents dying, I'm like, oh, and they're like, it's so sad. I always tell them the story to make them laugh. And they're like, when do you think you're going to feel sad about all this? So who knows? I still think that's really one of the funniest stories. I love my grandma to death, but that was like the funniest occasions of my life. Even to top it off even better, when hospice came one night, they were like, we don't think that she's passing away because she doesn't want to die in front of all these people. Like, it was like strangers, it was like her family. Like, she doesn't want to die in front of her grandchildren. She probably doesn't want them to see her like that. So someone in my family was like, you want to know what we should do? Everybody lay on the floor and be very quiet. So she thinks everybody left. So this hospice woman, it's like late, it's like 9 o'clock at night, is there, and she's like trying to change her, kind of like, get her all comfy again. And she turns around to a whole entire family laying on the kitchen floor and the dining room floor, being very quiet. so that she would think that everybody left so she could pass away. And then my cousin, she had a Lazy Susan. All of a sudden you just heard the Lazy Susan spin, 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 grab a bag of chips, open the bag of chips, and start eating them. Like, that's all you could hear. And that woman didn't say a word, just was like, have a good night, folks. So coping skills, something we should all work on, you know. Mental Health Awareness Month. Cope, grieve things, feel things. It's good to be able to go through situations like that and come out the other end okay, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't cope with them and deal with the emotions later on. Okay?